This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce you to the incredible new Deal Breaker Roulette system by Edward. He says this is unbelievable, and I can't wait to share it with you. And today, we're going to test it against Sonny's 23 high-low switch. I want to test this one again and see if it does amazing again as well. And we'll start with that first today, and we'll have a head-to-head matchup and see which one makes the most money in 15 minutes. I'm excited, and let's get started with Sonny's 23 high-low switch. So we're going to start with $15 on 1 to 18 and then $10 on first 12. That's a $25 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to stay here for 3 attempts. So that's a 25 red. Okay, and then we lost that one. So we're going to go ahead and double up. But we don't double up every time. And this one starts out a little bit aggressive, and then it gets conservative, which is a nice combination. And here we go. That's a 0. We definitely lost that one. So we're going to be aggressive one more time here, and we're going to bet on it's going to double up, and then we're going to add the amount that we started with. So that's 15 on 1 to 18, and then that's 10 on first 12. That gets us to 125 total bet. This is our last aggressive attempt, and then we're going to get conservative if we lose this one. That's a 17 black. Okay, that's a $25 win. You can see we're not in session profit, so we're just going to rebet and spin, but we already had our 3 attempts. So now we have to move it to the other side. So if we see what we have here, we had, let's see, we had, let me take those 2 off. So we had 50 and then 75. So let's go ahead and put that on the other side. And here we go. And we'll start 3 attempts here, and let's go ahead and spin. Okay, if we lose again, we're going to get conservative, which I'll share with you how to do next. And that's a 24 black. That's a $25 win, but you can see we're not in session profit. So we're just going to rebet and spin again right here. And here we go. That's a 19 red. Another $25 win. You see we're still not in session profit. We rebet and spin. This will be our final attempt on the right-hand side. Okay, that's a 23 red. That's another $25 win. So we're going to switch to the other side because we're not in session profit. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, we have 120. We have still have 75 and 50. So let's go ahead and move those. So let's put the 75 on 1 to 18. And then the 50 over here on first 12, 125 total. This is the first of 3 attempts until we get in session profit. And here we go. All right, that's a 3 red. And the rule of this is whenever you hit both of them at the same time, you reset, no matter what. So now we're up $200, and we go back to base level and spin again right here. We have 2 more attempts on the low side. And if you miss it by 1, don't worry about it. Just get right back on track. That's our second attempt there. So now we're just going to rebet that and spin. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get on this one. That's a 16 red. That's a $5 win. That was our 3rd attempt, so we move to the other side. We're still at base level, which is 15 and 10. 15 on 19 to 36, 10 on third 12. And let's see how this goes. And I still need to show you the conservative part of this after the first 3 bets that are aggressive. And that's a nice $35 win there. We're up $245. So still at base level. Let's spin again one more time here on the high side. And here we go. And that's a 23 red. Okay, that's a $5 win. So we're up $250. We're going to switch to the other side and spin. And I will tell you, Sonny would have already cashed out by now. Once he makes 200, he takes his money and runs. And so he would have already been victorious. But we're going to test this for the full 15 minutes just so that you can see what happens with more spins, and if you did decide to keep going. That's a 24 black. Okay, we lost. It's time to switch sides. So we're going to put those bets out there that we had, and then we're going to double them up. Okay, so the first bet is to double. The second bet is to double and then add the amount that you started with. Those are the aggressive bets. That's a $10 win there. And we'll just rebet that and spin again. And then after that, we're going to go conservative, and I'll show with you how that works here in a minute. That's a 00. Okay, we lost. So the next one is double and then add the amount that we started with. So that'd be 15 on 19 to 36 and 10 more on third 12. Now we're at 125 total bet. If we lose, we're going to start going conservative. So this is our final attempt right here. And that's a 1 red. Now we're going to go conservative. So we're going to switch sides. And let's go ahead and put the original bets out there. First, remember we doubled. And then we doubled and added what we started with, which was 15 and 10. And now we're going to add what we're going to go conservative. And we're just going to add what we started with. So that'd be 5, 10, 15, and then 10. Okay, now we're at 150 total bet. So from now on, it'll just go up $25 each time we lose. So it'll go from 125 to 150 to 175 to 200. And then no matter what, once we hit them both at the same time, we reset. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 33 black. So we lost. So we just increased by $25 each time we lose now. So 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. 175 total bet. We're minus $85. No matter where we land, when we hit both, we restart. And we hit them both, it's time to restart. That's a $245 win. Now we're up $160. All right, so now it's time to start over. You can see where we were. So it's time to go to the other side and go 15 and 10. And again, we're up 160 now. And the session profit doesn't matter once you get to the conservative levels. Once you hit them both at the same time, you reset. And if it sets you back a little bit, that's okay. So that's a nice win there. We're just going to rebet and spin. This will be our second attempt over here. And here we go. That's a 34 red. That's a nice $35 win. We're up 230. And it really doesn't matter if you're in the early stages or the later stages. When you hit them both, you reset. And that's a 15 black. Okay, we lost, so we switched sides. That was 3 in a row. And if you lose track, just get as close as you can. It does matter, but it's not. The progression is what's really important. So we're going to go ahead and double up and spin. We switch sides. This is our first of 3. And here we go. That's a good one, 2 black. So we know that anytime you hit them both, you reset. Now we're back up 275, and we'll have I think it's one more attempt here on first the low side basically. So let's see what we get on this one. I thought I was going to hit the 2, but it hit the 28. We lost, so we switch sides and then we double up. Okay, so here we go. That's a $50 total bet. And after you double up and then add the amount that you started with. That's a 17 black. We lost again. So this is our last aggressive bet. So we're going to double up and then add what we started. 15 on 19 to 36, 10 on third 12. Now we're at that 125 total bet. But after this, if we lose, we just go up $25 each time that we lose. But guess what? We hit them both at the same time. And now we're up $375. So I think we have one more attempt over here at base level. But again, if you lose track by one or, just jump back on board. Try to do 3 and then switch. And that's a 4 black. So we switch sides now. I think that was 3. So we'll go 15 and 10 and we'll double up. And again, this is our first of 2 aggressive bets, and then we get conservative. That's a 34 red. We lost. So now we double and add what we started with. So we'll double, then add 15 and add 10. Now we're at that $125 aggressive bet, and that's an 11 black. We hit them both at the same time. Now we're up $475. So let's go back to base level and spin. And then I think after this one, we switch sides. Here we go. That's a 1 red. That was a good one to get there last time on the low side. And now we're up $510. So we'll go 15 and 10 and switch sides and try to stay here for 3 if we can keep track of those. But again, the progression is the key. It gets aggressive and then conservative combined. And that's our first one. That's a good win. We're up 545. And let's spin again on our second attempt here on the high side. This is Sunny's 23 high-low switch. Okay, we lost, so we have one more attempt here, and we double up. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. And we'll be switching sides after this spin. That's a lost 00. So Now we're going to the next bet size, which is doubling and adding what we started with. So remember, we doubled it first, and then the next bet is doubling and adding what we started with. So 15 and then 10. That gets us back to that 125 bet. And every time we lose after this, we just go up 25 bucks what we started with. So that's a 30 red, and we lost. So now we go conservative. So now all we do is go up 25 each time we lose. So 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Okay, we're still up 345, and once we hit them both at the same time, we reset even if it gives us a setback. And again, that's what keeps it safe. And that's an 8 black, $210 win. Now we're at $555, and we're back to base level. So let's go ahead and spin again. So this goes, it gets, it has a little bit of a risky bet on the first two, and then it gets conservative, and it's a nice combination. So we're switching sides now. We'll have 15 and 10. It's time to double up and spin. And here we go. This is our first of 2 aggressive bets, and that's a 2 black. We lost that one. So we're going to go ahead and double and add what we started with. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 125 total. And here we go. Okay, that's a 32 red. And anytime you hit them both at the same time, you reset. We're up $655. I think it's time to switch sides. But again, if you lose track by 1 or so, just get back on track again. The key is that you're not staying on the same one all the time. And that's a 32 red. And we lost. So this is our first of 2 aggressive bets. So we just double up and spin. And here we go. That's another loss. So we go to our final aggressive bet. So we double and add what we started with. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. 125 total. Now after this, if we lose, we go from 125 to 150 to 175 to 200 and so on. If you hit them both at the same time like that, you restart. So now we're up $755. How about that? So let's switch sides, and here we go again with Sonny's 23 high-low switch. And remember, he cashes out when he's up 200. So keep that in mind when you're playing. Even though we're up a ton, we're up $730 right now. So we'll double that up. That's our first of 2 aggressive bets, and then we go conservative. That's a 13 black. We lost, so we go to our second aggressive bet, double, and then add what we started with. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Okay, 125 total. Okay, that's a 4 black, and we lost, so we go conservative. Now we just add what we started with each time we lose. And we wait until we hit both of them before we reset. And here we go. And we got it, 30 red. How about that? And if it does set you back a little bit, that's okay, but we're up $765. That's not the case right now. And we're just loving this right now and cruising along with Sonny's 23 high-low switch. And that's a 34 red. Okay, we'll start with our first of 2 aggressive bets by doubling. And here we go. Okay, that's a 10 black. I think we got it. And we did. We're up $810. Wow. So we're back to base level, and let's spin. We got about a minute and a half left with this one, doing incredible, and that's a 22 black. Okay, we lost that one, and we'll put our first of 2 aggressive bets down by doubling up, and here we go. That's the step 1. Hit the 2. Oh, wow, and I could tell that was hitting the 2. It was either going to hit the 2 or the 0. That's awesome. Now we're up $855. Let's switch sides. And again, if you miss the the count of 3 by 1, don't worry about it. Just try to move it around every 3 times. And that's a loss. So we'll start with our first aggressive bet, and let's spin. We only do 2 aggressive bets, and that's a 32 red. We got the win. We're currently up $900. How about that? And that'll be 15 minutes with Sonny's 23 high-low switch. It did amazing again. We'll continue to test this one out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's a really nice combination of aggressive bets and conservative bets mixed together in one great system. So would love to hear how your testing goes with this as well. But do remember that Sonny always cashes out after $200 profit. We made $900. in 15 minutes. That was pretty awesome. Now it's time for the new roulette system of the day. I can't wait to share this one with you, and let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Deal Breaker Roulette System by Edward. He says this is the safest and best roulette system you will ever use. And let's place the bets and see what he's up to today. And I can't wait to see how much money this makes in 15 minutes. We're going to have some split bets for $1 each. We're going to have a $1 bet on the 0002. And then we're going to have a $5 bet on the second 12. This is a $10 bet, and let's spin. And I'll share with you how Edward is making money with this system in the casino. He says it's super safe and effective. That's a $8 win there. And we're just going to rebet and spin again. And then once we have losses, I'll share with you what to do next. And here we go. That's a 34 red. And we lost that one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to double up right now from 10 to 20 and spin. But there's a lot more to it than that. We're not, going to be just basically doubling and then resetting. I'll share with you how this works. So that's a loss there. We are going to double one more time here. We're going to go from 20 to 40 and spin. And here we go. All right, so we have 23 numbers covered, and that's a 16 red. That's a nice $20 win, but you see we're not in profit. So we're going to keep the bet the same and spin again. And the split bets are going to pay a little bit more than the second 12. And the second 12 is going to play a little bit more than the 0002. But they're all going to be winners. And here we go. That's a 5 red. And we lost again there. Now we're going to double from 40 to 80 and spin. And here we go. All right, that's a 15 black, and that's a win. Okay, $40 win. We're still not in session profit, so we're going to leave the bet the same and spin again. All right, here we go. That's a 36 red. We lost again, and this is why we have bankroll. We're going to go from 80 to 160 and spin, and this is a $2,000 bankroll system. That's a 4 black. Hey, that's a nice $128 win. Now we're up 46 bucks. We can go ahead and go back to base level. So let's go ahead and just put the bets back out again. And here we go. So we have the $1 bet on the 0002. And then here come the split bets. And there's our $10 starting bet. Edward says you can play this with a $1,000 bankroll. He plays it with 2, but he said there's no reason that you can't play it with 1,000. So he just likes a little bit extra. And we're going to go ahead and double up and spin. Let's see if we can get some more wins. We do have nice coverage, different payouts on all 3 groupings, and that's a $10 win. Now we're at 46, and we're going to keep track of that session profit and spin again here. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a 9 red. That's a nice $16 win. We're up $62, and we're going to go back to our original $10 bet. And again, the splits pay the most, and then the second 12 pays next most, and then the 0002 plays the least, but it's still a win. And that's a 25 red. We lost, so let's double up. Okay, we're going to go from 10 to 20 and spin. And this is the Deal Breaker Roulette System by Edward, and that's a 00. And we have that covered. It's not a huge win, but we'll take it. We're up $56, and we're just going to stay right here and spin again. Try to get ourselves into a little more new profit, and that's a 32 red. Okay, we lost that one, and we have the bankroll to double up, so we're going to go from 20 to 40, and here we go. Okay, that's a 7 red. How about that? That's a $32 win. We're up 68 bucks. We're going to go back to 10. So anytime you have the ability to reset, go ahead and do so, and here we go again. Let's keep building up our profit, and that's a 19 red. Another $5 win. We're up 73. And I do think you could play this easily with a $1,000 bankroll. You don't need the 2. But again, he says he likes to have it just in case. That's a 33 black. That's an $8 win. We're up $81. Let's go ahead and spin again, and we'll see how much money we make in 15 minutes, and give a good recommendation on that. What bankroll I think is best with this. That's a $5 win. We're up 86. All right, let's keep adding to our session profit, and you could always increase these bets. by making the ones 5, and then you just take the $5 bet on the second 12 times 5. That'd be 25, and then you can make a lot more money with this. But part of the reason that he says it's so safe is because he starts with a small starting bet of $10 on covering 23 numbers, and that's a 36 red. And we lost that one. Let's double that up from 10 to 20 and spin. And here we go. That's a 30 red. That's a nice $16 win. We're up $97. That's new session profit. We go back to 10, and session profit is the highest level profit you've had since you've started, and that's a 32 red. Okay, we lost it. Let's double up from 10 to 20 and spin. And again, we got the splits, we got the dozen, and we have the 0002. And it is nice to win on the 0002, even though it's not the biggest win. It is a win, and let's go ahead and double that up after that loss and spin, and let's see what we get here. Okay, that's an 8 black. We lost again, but again, this is why we have the bankroll, whether it's 1,000 or 2,000. I think either way would be fine, and but we'll make a determination on that when we get done. He says he uses 2. That's a $40 win. We're up 67, but you can see that's not session profit. So we're going to leave the bet the same and spin again. And that's a 6 black. That's a nice win. We're up 131 bucks now. That was a nice win, and part of that's because the splits do pay the most out of all the wins. And now we're back to 10. And with the splits, you can see we have 8 numbers on there out of the 23, but also 12 numbers in the second 12 that pay pretty well. And the 000 is still a nice win. So that's a 12 red. We lost, so let's double up and spin again. So I think this is really nice coverage so far. I can't wait to see how this does for the, the whole testing session today. And that's another nice win of $16. Now we're up $137. And let's go back to 10. Anytime you have a chance to restart, go ahead and do so. And Edward says that will keep you safe. And that is a 16 red. Another $5 win. We're up 142. And let's spin again. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a 36 red. And that's a loss, so we'll double up from 10 to 20 and spin. This is the Deal Breaker Roulette system by Edward, and I don't see this one failing today. It's not making tons of money, but we've made a good amount of money. We were up 130 a second ago. Let's double that up and spin and to get back up there again. And but I think this is going to do really well today. Let's see. And even if it hits the 0 like it got close to there, that's going to be really good. So we're up 144 now. Guess what? We can go back to 10 again and keep building up our profits. But this looks like it'll easily make $200 fairly quickly. That's a 13 black. That's another $5 win. We're up 149. So it does seem pretty safe because we do have nice high coverage. And let's see what we get here. And it's nice that the 2 and the 0 and the 00 are covered. Even though they're small wins, they're still wins. And we're up $151. I don't know how many times a bunch of zeros have wrecked me, and it won't do that with this system. That's a 24, and anything that hits the second 12 is an automatic win. So we like that. We're up 156. And here we go. So if you want to make more with it, you can increase the bets, but make sure you increase the bankroll accordingly. And that's another $5 win. We're up 161. Okay, here we go. All right, and you could double these starting bets and then use a $2,000 bankroll as well. But again, let's wait until the end, and I'll make a good determination on what I think would be the best bankroll. Again, Edward uses 2,000, but I think that he said 1,000 would probably be sufficient. I'm leaning either there or somewhere in between, depending on how this goes. So we're up 174. Also, let me know down in the comments afterwards what you think the bankroll should be for this, and that's a 00. It's so nice to win on the zeros, even if it's small. It's so refreshing, and let's see what we get here. All right, here we go. And just like that, when you get on these 0 streaks, it's nice to win, even though, again, they're small wins, but they're wins nonetheless. And usually if you're losing on the zeros, they always seem like they're part of a sequence that would wreck your day. So it's nice to win on them, and let's double that up and spin. Again, we have 23 numbers covered here. The splits pay the most. Second dozen pays next, and then the 0002 pays the least, but it's still a win. That's a loss, so we're going to double up. Now we're at $40 total bet, and let's spin. But by starting with the bet small like this, it gives you a really good chance of recovering each and every time, and we're up 168. And let's go back to 10. And let's work our way up to that $200 profit here. And here we go. And that's a 27. Okay, we lost. Let's double that up. We're up 158 currently. Okay, now we're at 20 instead of 10. Still nice coverage. And here we go. That's a 10 black. Okay, we lost again. Let's double that up again and spin. Now we're at $40 total bet. And here we go. And that's a 20 black. We like that. That's a $20 win. We're up 158. We're not in session profit, so we're going to keep the bet the same and spin again here. And here we go. That's a 36 red, and we lost that one. So let's double up again. This is why we have the bankroll that we have. Again, Edward recommends 2,000, but I think you can do it for a lot less. Let's see. That's another $40 win. We're up 158. We'll keep the bet the same and spin again because we're not in session profit, which is the highest profit since we started. And there's a win on 2, even though it's not a huge win. We will take a $16 win there. Now we're up 174, and let's get one more here before we restart. Okay, that's a 30 red. How about that? That's a $64 win. Now we're up 238. And we drop all the way back to 10 where we started. Anytime you have a chance to restart, go ahead and do so. We're back to our base level bets now. And here we go. Let's see if we can keep making profit with this. And that's a 7 red. That's a nice $8 win. We're up 246. And again, the splits are the best. Then the dozen. And then the 0002. That's a 35 black. Okay, we lost that one. Let's double up from 10 to 20 and spin with the deal breaker by Edward. And here we go. That's an 11 black. Okay, we lost that one. Let's double up again. 20 to 40 and spin. And here we go. That's a 33 black. Okay, that's a nice $32 win there. We're up 248. So we're going to go back to 10 where we started. And that was a good hit on, again, the splits do pay the most. So when you increase the bet, that makes them pay even more. And that's a 36 red. We've hit that a bunch today. And let's go ahead and double that up and spin. And this is doing awesome. Both the systems today have done fantastic. And here we go. That's a 21 red. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up 248. And let's rebet and spin. And the first system today would be a $2,000 bankroll. And again, Edward recommends $2,000 on this one. But I think we can do this for less. We'll let you know here shortly when we finish here what I recommend. And then let me know what you recommend down in the comments as well. And if you haven't been sending your systems in, please send those to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's where all these come from, is from you guys, and it's awesome. Search for the best roulette system each and every day, and it's all because of you guys and all the hard work that you put in, and I really appreciate it. And I just love doing the same thing. So that's what's great about this community. We're going to go to 160 total bet now, which is the highest that we've been to so far. And here we go. That's a 27 red, and we lost again. Okay, so as we're getting to the end here, we're going to get the bets higher than we have had them the entire time. And again, he did recommend a $2,000 bankroll. Let's see if it's necessary. And that's a 12 red. Okay? But that's another loss. So let's see how much we have left. We have about $1,600 left in the bankroll. We're at 640 total bet now. So this is the first time we've been in trouble with this one as we're coming down the stretch. And that's a 4 black. Oh, that's a nice $512 win. We're back up 140. Now what you have to do is, decide if you want to try to get back to where you were before, or if it's worth it at 640. And what I would recommend at this point, even though he didn't say anything about this, I would recommend going back to somewhere in between. But right now, actually, we just hit the 15-minute mark. So this system is going to only make $140 in 15 minutes. However, if you get the bets high like this, like I was saying, I would recommend like cutting that 640 in half, or maybe even going back a little bit lower than that just for safety. But that's the first time we got in any real trouble with this one today. But let me know down in the comments what you think after you test this out. Again, this is the Deal Breaker by Edward, and then Sonny's system. Let me know what you think of his as well. It did crazy good today at $900 profit. So we made over $1,000 profit today with these two systems, and definitely Sonny's was the winner. But this was a really safe, effective system, and really appreciate you guys sending these systems into rouletteMaster.c@gmail.com. And if you're enjoying this search with me for the best, searching for the best roulette system each and every day, please like, share, and subscribe so that we can keep growing this community of people that really love roulette. And remember to cash out when you get up. Don't keep playing until you lose what you've won. And pick up one of those cash out shirts at theroulettemaster.com. They say cash out on the front and declare victory on the back. They help remind me and a lot of the subscribers that when you get up, you want to get out and cash out and declare victory over that casino. Doesn't mean you have to leave the casino. In fact, I usually just stick around, have free drinks, and watch other people play once I've won what I want to win for the day. But that's probably the most important part of successful roulette play is stopping when you're ahead and declaring victory. So hope you enjoy doing that as well. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.